Feeling okay?
Yeah.
Can you taste it?
No.
Because this is pre-filled syringes, people taste it.
Mm.
So will you put this all in the YouTube?
Yes. I might. I'll look at it first and see if it's worth it.
See whether it is worth it,
If
okay?
people
And
really want to
also,
see.
and also make sure.
I don't mind. Welcome back to my channel. So the name of this video is Devastated by a Rare Disease. And I just thought I would talk about that for a little while. Because it's something that I actually have to deal with every day. But first I want to say welcome back to my channel, of course, and also that I appreciate the continued support that I've had from my loyal followers and loyal subscribers, which I really appreciate. And I will always try and aim to put out some interesting and informative content for you to enjoy. So most of my videos, in case you're new here, is that my life was changed immensely due to a neuromuscular disease that I have, and it's called myasthenia gravis. Bit of a mouthful, but myasthenia means muscle weakness and gravis means grave. So altogether it's grave muscle weakness. And grave muscle weakness means that it can be so grave that you can die from it. So, but from here on in, I'll call it MG. And also I'm bringing it up also because it's back again in my life, 2025. I've been in remission for about 12 months where I haven't had any treatment, any medication, nothing. And now, getting into April, I'm getting it back again. I can feel it coming back and I have to start my treatment again. So it's kind of a bit disappointing. But that's what I thought. That's been what's on the front part of my mind. So that's why I'm bringing it up now. And I thought I'd put it out there and share a little something about myself because I don't do a lot of that. So if you've been following me from the beginning, you will know that I have been treated for MG. And so it won't be a surprise to you. And usually I know my videos are about travelling and van life, and I of course enjoy the process of putting all those videos together. It's a lot of work, but I still do it even though I do have this disease, myasthenia gravis. So anyway, let's get into talking about myasthenia. Or not, whatever you prefer. But firstly, my MG is lifelong. So it's not like a cold, it comes and it'll go away again and it might come back or it may not. It's with you forever. It's in your bloodstream, it's in your antibodies, it's in your body. And it's with you forever. It affects your life forever. With intermittent crises and relapses. But if you're lucky, there'll be a remission. And I think I must have experienced that last year. One glimmer of light is that it can be successfully treated. And it can be treated in New Zealand. Luckily enough, we have access to those medications. Because of the fact that we do have access to the treatments and medications needed to stop it in its tracks. I mean, we also have the specialists who know about rare diseases because it is a rare disease. That's probably why a lot of you may not have heard about it before. But not everyone is lucky to be born into a country with a decent health system. If one cannot get access to the treatments needed, they could die from this condition, and that happens. And for some people born in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they either can't afford to pay for the treatments, or they can't get access to the treatments or the specialist consultants that have to administer the treatments, their prognosis is not good, which is pretty sad when it's a condition that can be managed. Anyone out there who has a neuromuscular disease will know what I mean. It can't be cured, only managed or treated. And my condition, my disease has been managed, treated since 2011. So I've had it for, 14 years? And I'm quite a kind of a pragmatic kind of person. I like to get on with things. I don't really want to be sitting down all day, but I do sometimes. I don't want to be lying down in my bed, but I do sometimes. I want to be able to walk around the block, but I can't because I get too short of breath, which really brasses me off because then I put on the weight. So I was unlucky to get it in 2011, and at that time my mum was ill in her last year of life, and the stress the stress on me emotionally was through the roof, mainly because the sadness that I felt couldn't be expressed, as there was so much else that took my energy. And by the end of the day, I felt so bereft and alone in my grief that my mum was failing away there and going to die. And it just internalized that pain, and none of us could talk about it because we were all trying to deal with it, all in our own different ways, and we're all different, entities in our family. We're not the same. We're all quite different, me and my siblings. We've got different situations, family situations as well, different ways of coping, and we just didn't talk about it. So for me, I dealt with it in my head, and I think my head went pop there for a minute, because I didn't sleep that often. I stopped, I couldn't sleep, and night after night after night, day after day, week after week, trying to go to work, carrying on, because I had a business of my own and I was trying to keep that going, because when you're self-employed, you can't just take the day off or take the week off. You've got to keep going. Eventually I lost my resilience, and I woke up one morning and the muscles of my eyes didn't work, which was really weird. They kind of were, one was pointing that way and the other one's pointing up there. It was like, oh, what's going on, And Mum saw me and her face went all sad, and she thought I'd had a stroke, because that's what it looks like, as if you've had a stroke. Or you've got kind of like a palsy, Bell's palsy on one side of your face, because one side of your face comes down and the eyes are funny. And that's because the muscles, being a muscle weakness disease, the muscles fail in your face and eyes. So it might look funny, but it wasn't that funny, really. It was kind of like the tip of the iceberg of what was going on in my body. So I went from being fit, pretty active, running my own business, to always being fatigued, short of breath, with muscle weakness, to finally having to go to the ED, the emergency department of our public hospital. I had to go to the ED because I had trouble seeing, talking, swallowing and breathing as my muscles started to weaken and slow down. I didn't know all this was happening though. I could just feel the symptoms. And actually when I went to ED, they didn't know much either. They didn't know what was happening. But eventually I was admitted and I had to see the neurologist. So it was interesting that they had an idea that it must have been some sort of autoimmune because they got the neurologist or a nerve thing. And at that time I was also trying to keep my business going and my income streams continuing. And that's tough. But a little fun fact right here. Did you know that most of the actions in your body most actions that your body can do, like breathing, swallowing, seeing, even your heart beating, did you know that that's all triggered by nerve endings and muscle? It's not just about whether you're walking and can move your legs and swing your arms and move your body. We all know that it takes muscle to do that. It takes muscle to go to the gym and lift those weights. You know, we don't think about it. Also takes muscle to move your eyeballs and your eyelids, your face, your smile, your swallow, you know, your heart beating, your breathing. Yeah, breathing alone has got quite a number of muscle groups that move the lungs, and when they slow down, you're in trouble. Because I know that now, looking back, but when you're in it, you think, oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't bring in a breath. You can't, because your diaphragm muscles and your neck muscles and these muscles, the bulbar muscles, will not move. So that's a problem when that happens. And when MG hits you, when you get MG, it strikes the nervous system. So it strikes right there. And that weakens the muscles that power everything because it hits the nerves. So from that time on, after Mum's passing in 2011, I was in and out of the ED and hospital after she passed away. I mean, my world just crashed. And I was in and out of hospital, and it was a whole new world for me. It's apart from having my children, I'd never been to hospital. So I had to say goodbye to the old me and say hello to a new normal, which was a world of hospital wards, neurologists, blood tests, and many needle pricks. And it wasn't me mobilising my body anymore, but it was steroids. They helped my muscles and nerves work. And I got through every day, and I had to have those steroids because when you can't, like normally, you know, you take breathing for granted. You take that your heart's going to keep beating for granted. But when you actually can't breathe, you can't draw a breath in because your muscles are stopped, you're up shit creek without a paddle, pretty much. And I got up there, but that's another story. Yeah, I was alive. Something inside my soul that was once so confident and strong. You know how you get when you're young. And I wasn't that young, I was in my 50s, but I was strong. But that confidence was broken, even though I was alive. And things that you took for granted, like having good health and feeling good all the time, feeling slim and attractive and all that stuff, all that disappeared. My ability to do stuff was dependent on IVIGs, and if you've got myasthenia, or if you've got multiple sclerosis or any other kind of neuromuscular disease, you'll know what an IVIG is. It goes into the vein, and it takes about 4 or 5 hours, and you have to do it every day for about 5 days in a row. So you're usually an outpatient. Steroids, and a high dosage of steroid every day, 60 to 80 milligrams a day. That helps to keep your body powered up. So you can do the normal stuff like walking, breathing, eating, swallowing, all that stuff. That's what the steroids did. But the other thing about the steroids is they put on a lot of weight and you get quite big. I mean, I did it. I'm still sort of a little bit big. No, I'm still big. Yeah. Can't seem to get rid of it. Well, I can't go running around the block because, I mean, it takes a lot just to walk around the blimmin' block now. Yeah. And acetylcholine blockers, so they help the nerve endings. But the good thing was that I was still here for my kids, and that was the goal. At the end of the day, I had to stay on top of it for my kids, because they are my world, and that's what pulled me through, and yeah, gave me some semblance of purpose, I guess. And I pulled through. I'm still here. It's been years, but I'm still here. This part of the story is actually not the worst of it. There's so much more, and I will share that with you in another video, though. Yeah, so now I'm going to sort of finish off this part of the story, and I just hope that if you have a similar situation, you get something from this video. I mean, when you lose something, you also gain stuff. Something else blooms inside you that, comes from a loss, a huge loss. And you just go with that. I mean, what choice do you have? So anyway, if this video was interesting to you, if it helps with something, please give me a like, subscribe, and add a comment. I am quite curious about, if you've had similar experiences. If you have any questions and any comments about it, I'm interested to hear from you. Nō reira te iwi. I think that's me for now. Thank you for listening. Kia kaha, kia maia, kia toa. Be strong, be brave, be a warrior. And mā te wā. All in good time. I'll see you then.